We'd like to have a Merry Christmas, and the best way to have a Merry Christmas is to try to continue to play well tomorrow night against Alabama State. This will be a return of Coach Tony Matlock to Neville Arena, where he was an assistant for 4 years under Coach Barbie. I hope he gets a nice greeting from our fans. Coach Matlock is very well respected in our industry, been doing it a long time, been doing it the right way. And part of the reason why we're playing Alabama State was in recognition of him and his career and his excellence. They played everybody. They played one of the toughest schedules in the country, having already played Ole Miss and played them to a 10-point game. They played Memphis. They played Iowa. They played USC the other night. And so they're not going to be at all intimidated by us or Neville Arena, the competition. And obviously it's the SWAC has got a history of having great upsets, both this year as well as last season. And so, obviously, they make 8 threes a game. They play really fast. They got 3 guards that lead them in scoring, including Coach Matlock's son, who's an outstanding player. It'll be a very exciting game. It'll be a very, very up-tempo game. They like to play fast. Coach plays 10, 11 guys. They play hard. So we'll have to continue to play well. For us, we've taken care of the basketball. We've shot it well. We've shared it well. Our one-on-one closeouts will be challenged against some players that can really, really make some instant offense. Transition defense is going to be important for us as well.
You said after the USC game with the ones, Trey and Aiden getting better on the defensive end from game 1 to game 8. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that and just kind of where you've seen them grow. Not just because that was a concern I know early in the year.
Well, I think they both have had a recognition that and that it's an area that we've talked about from the beginning of the season that we need to continue to focus on and get better at, and and get challenged. We've lost 2 games so far, and Baylor's backcourt and Appalachian State's backcourt outplayed us. And I think those guys didn't take that as a criticism. It's just a fact, and so therefore they recognize, all of our guards, that that competing on every position and getting some help from our bigs and our team. Defense is the one thing that you can kind of control your destiny a little bit, and so obviously it's been a big focus. I think Trey and Aiden's recognition as younger players, with knowing whether it be the learning curve, and then knowing that night in and night out, everybody's got pretty good guards. The great teams have got great guards and frontline players, and so a guard's got to bring it every night.
Aiden mentioned earlier today about this as a defender, he wants to work on taking more on-ball charges. Now that we're a little bit into the season, you've mentioned all the charge rules that you've kind of not sure if you like at all.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that now, and how are you coaching players to kind of take more charges with the new rule?
Well, it's really hard to coach it and teach it because it's obviously it's a contact play, and you don't always, some coaches like to drill it in practice, and I don't believe in that. What Aiden's talking about is his ability to take an on-ball charge. That rule hasn't changed. So if you're the primary defender, if you can beat guys to spots, and Aiden has got the quickness to beat guys to spots. It was one of the things that helped Jared Harper defensively, was he would take a charge or 2 a game, and people weren't willing to try to line him up because he'd beat him in a spot, he'd put him on the floor. And Aiden doesn't have that in his bag yet. But he's got the quickness to be able to do it. He's got the basketball IQ to be able to do it. So that's something officials are willing to call on-ball charges when guys lower their shoulder. And so that's something that all of our guards could do a better job doing. It's the secondary defender that is really limited in their ability to help that one-on-one closeout.
BP, you've played teams from across Alabama, bringing them in here for this game. How much do you like keeping it in the state as much as you can? I know y'all try to get a good non-conference schedule, but having games like this against Alabama State, y'all played North Alabama a while back.
Yeah, no, I just think it's the right thing to do, and I know that these games there's a lot to lose and not a ton to gain. But when you play against a team that plays a good style like this with good talent and well coached, and obviously for them this would be, and I'll tell you, they play hard. They got down against USC and they never quit. They kept playing. They outplayed USC in the second half. But I guess it's the right thing to do if we're going to go ahead and play these guarantee games. We might as well keep the guarantees here at home.
You were yesterday kind of posting about all the football signing day stuff. Kind of from a basketball perspective, you've been acknowledging that it's sometimes difficult to recruit at a school that's so football dominant. But kind of what from your end of the recruiting side of it can you do to kind of to get Auburn basketball recruiting to where it's been recently at such a football heavy school?
Say that again, the last part of your question.
I guess kind of what are you telling in your recruiting pitch to some of these kids to come to where Auburn's been now as a highly successful basketball recruiting school at a school that's historically known for its football team?
Yeah, well, I'm just a fan, and Hugh's my friend, and I'm so happy for him and grateful that he's given us hope, and that he's got the kids believing, and he's got the community believing. And I mean, look, we could have, should have beaten the top two teams in the country in Alabama and Georgia this year. Everybody saw that with a challenged roster. What's the man going to do when he can line up and have some of the same ammunition that the opponents have? So I'm just excited for it. So I do retweet that stuff just occasionally, just to lend my support. And yesterday was obviously a fun day. It was freezing, and excited for him. And then for us, I hope that, I know one thing that's important is it's important to be able to provide an environment where football can take their prospects to what is one of the top home court advantages in all of college basketball. I retweeted that yesterday also. Somebody put out that we were one of the top 10 venues in college basketball as far as atmosphere is concerned every now and then. The first was Fog Allen. And so the fact that Auburn's on that list is something that we work to try to have. But we can't do that by ourselves. It's because our fans care. The Auburn family comes out. The jungle's amazing. And that's why I feel a responsibility to continue to show them good basketball, play well, and they'll keep coming back.
With the assist rate so high this year, obviously Trey and Aiden are putting up a great assist to turnover ratio, but how much has it helped you guys that y'all have Chad and Jalen and pretty much everybody who hits the floor for y'all can get assists and move the ball?
Well, I mean, everybody expects the point guards have to get the ball in their hands a lot, and one thing my job is to try to put guys in positions to be successful, and not ask them to do things that they're not capable of doing, and then therefore they turn the ball over. I think both Trey and Aiden value possessions, and we don't have as many wasted possessions this year. We still have some, but the fact that you can put the ball in, let's say, Jalen Williams or Chad Baker's hands, who have got a little bit more size, a little bit more length, to be able to make plays for themselves and others, and they both got high IQ and they're both unselfish players, and so it gives us some weapons. And look, making the extra pass or the right pass is contagious. Also, taking bad shots is contagious. Well, you just took one, I'm going to take one, and that's just we haven't had a lot of that, and we hope we don't see much of that.
Good. Yep. Thanks, Bruce.